You are listening to HOA Debrief. This is a wild HOA story. Rebecca Robinson is standing on my driveway at 7:15 in the morning, phone camera aimed at my front lawn, and she is already yelling before I even get the door open. You are in violation of Section 4.3, Landscape Maintenance Standards. This lawn is unacceptable. I am a project manager. I moved to Willowbrook Estates in Denver, Colorado, because I wanted a stable mortgage and predictable bills. What I got was a master plan community where lawn standards are brutal, and Rebecca Robinson, architectural review chair, who carries a tiny valve key on her keychain like it is a badge of honor. My lawn was green 3 days ago. Now it is patchy brown, and Rebecca is documenting every inch with her phone. I step outside in my seafoam green jacket, coffee still in hand. What are you talking about? I watered on schedule. She does not even look up from her screen. It is not personal, it is policy. You have 48 hours to remedy this, or fines begin at $50 per day. I stare at the grass. It looks like someone dumped bleach on it, but I know my irrigation timer ran Tuesday night because I checked the app. Rebecca taps her clipboard. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to worry about. She turns and walks to her car, mustard yellow blazer catching the morning sun, and I am left standing there trying to figure out what just happened. I call my friend Marcus before I even go back inside. He has lived in Willowbrook for 6 years, and he has seen Rebecca pull this selective enforcement routine on 3 other neighbors. Meet me at your place in 20, he says. Bring your phone and any emails from the HOA. I pull up my irrigation app while I wait. The timer shows it ran Tuesday at 11 p.m. for 18 minutes. Zone 1 through 4, no errors. But when I walk the yard, every sprinkler head in the front is bone dry. The backyard is fine, green and healthy. Only the front is dying. Marcus shows up with his laptop and a folder of printed HOA docs. He is the kind of guy who documents everything. And right now, I am grateful. We walk the perimeter. He kneels by the valve box near the street, pops the lid. Your master valve is closed. I lean in. What? He points to a brass handle turned perpendicular. This should be parallel to the pipe. Someone shut your water off manually. My stomach drops. Who has access to these? Marcus gives me a look. HOA maintenance, and Rebecca has been known to carry a valve key on her keychain. I take a photo of the closed valve, then Marcus turns it back on. Water pressure hisses through the line. We test the system. Every head pops up, spray arcing across the brown grass. It works perfectly. I email Rebecca and copy HOA management. Subject line: irrigation issue resolved. I explain the valve was manually closed and has been reopened. I attach the photo. Her reply comes back in 4 minutes. Regardless of cause, the lawn condition violates standards. You have until Friday to show improvement or fines commence. My job schedule is strict. I work 8 to 6 most days, sometimes later when we are closing a project phase. I cannot babysit lawn repairs on top of everything else, and my paycheck is already spoken for between the mortgage, HOA dues, and my car payment. I forward the email chain to Marcus. He replies with a single line: document everything. She is setting you up. Thursday morning, I get a management email titled Final Notice. It is from the property management company Crestview Group, and it is CC'd to Rebecca and the HOA attorney. Failure to remedy landscape violation by end of business Friday will result in daily fines of $50 as outlined in your CCRs. Please contact our office to schedule a compliance inspection. I read it twice. The lawn is already greening up after 2 days of watering. I take photos, time-stamped, showing new growth. I reply to the thread with the photos attached. Management responds: visual improvement noted. Architectural review chair will assess compliance Friday afternoon. Rebecca shows up Friday at 4:30, clipboard in hand, mustard yellow blazer spotless, that valve key glinting on her keychain. She walks the lawn in silence, taking notes. I stand on the porch in my seafoam green jacket, arms crossed. The grass is clearly recovering. She finishes her lap and looks up. I am recommending the fine proceed. The damage is still visible and reflects poorly on the community. I step down off the porch. The damage happened because someone shut off my valve. She does not blink. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to worry about. Prove it was tampered with and we can discuss. I pull out my phone. I have a photo of the closed valve and a timestamp showing my system ran that night. She taps her pen on the clipboard. Valves can fail. Systems malfunction. Unless you have proof of intentional interference, the fine stands. She walks to her car and drives away. The fine notice arrives by email Monday morning. $50 per day effective last Friday. Total current balance, $150. Payment due within 14 days or the matter will be referred to the HOA attorney for collections. I forward it to Marcus. He calls me immediately. You need a contractor report. Someone independent who can say the valve was manually closed, not a system failure. I find a local irrigation company, Front Range Sprinklers, and they send a tech out Tuesday afternoon. He is a guy in his 50s named Dale who has been doing this for 30 years. He opens the valve box, inspects the brass fittings, tests the pressure. This valve was turned off by hand. See the wear pattern on the handle? That is recent. No corrosion, no scale buildup. Someone cranked this closed within the last week. He writes it up on company letterhead, signs it, hands me a copy. That will be $85. I scan the report and email it to the full HOA board, not just Rebecca. I include the valve photo, the irrigation app logs, and a timeline. Subject line: evidence of tampering. Within an hour, I get a reply from another board member, Sandra Cho. She is the treasurer, and she has never liked Rebecca's enforcement style. This is concerning. I am requesting an emergency board meeting to review. Rebecca replies to the thread 10 minutes later. Contractor reports are not definitive. The homeowner is responsible for system integrity regardless of cause. It is not personal, it is policy. Sandra fires back, policy does not override due process. Meeting scheduled for Thursday, 6 p.m., Clubhouse. Wednesday night, a sprinkler line in my backyard bursts, water geysers 3 feet into the air flooding the patio. I shut off the main and call an emergency repair line. The tech who shows up finds a crack in a PVC lateral. Looks like someone stepped on it or hit it with something, he says. This kind of break does not happen on its own. The repair costs $240. I take photos of the crack, the flooded patio, everything. Thursday morning, I get an email from Rebecca. I observed water waste at your property last night during a neighborhood walk. Violation of drought restriction ordinance. Additional fine of $75 assessed. I reply with the repair invoice and photos. This was an emergency repair of a damaged line. She does not respond, but she CCs the HOA attorney. Marcus helps me prep for the board meeting. We print copies of the contractor report, the valve photos, the email chain, the irrigation app logs, the repair invoice. We build a timeline on a single sheet of paper. Date 1, lawn was green. Date 2, valve found closed, lawn brown. Date 3, Rebecca's first violation notice. Date 4, contractor confirms manual shutoff. Date 5, sprinkler line damaged. He leans back in his chair. She is panicking. The line break was her trying to create another violation to muddy the water. I check the time. My job schedule is strict and I am already using PTO for this meeting. My boss was not happy when I asked to leave early, but I told him it was a legal matter. He did not push. The Willowbrook Estates HOA clubhouse meeting room is a beige rectangle with folding tables and a projector screen. Rebecca sits at the head table in her mustard yellow blazer, the valve key on her keychain resting on the table in front of her like a gavel. 4 other board members are present: Sandra Cho, the treasurer, Mike Peterson, the vice president, Angela Ruiz, the secretary, and Tom Harmon, the president. I sit in the front row in my seafoam green jacket with Marcus beside me and a folder of evidence on my lap. Tom calls the meeting to order at 6:03. We are here to review a landscape violation dispute. Rebecca, please summarize. She stands, smooth and practiced. The homeowner allowed his front lawn to fall into severe disrepair in violation of Section 4.3. Fines were assessed per standard procedure. He has since attempted to blame HOA maintenance for a supposed valve closure. But there is no proof of intent. It is not personal, it is policy. I raise my hand. Tom nods. Go ahead. I stand and distribute the printed packets. I walk them through the timeline. Green lawn on Sunday. Valve found manually closed on Wednesday. Contractor report confirming recent hand closure. Rebecca interrupts. Contractors are not impartial. They say what they are paid to say. Sandra cuts her off. Rebecca, let him finish. I continue. The irrigation app shows the system attempted to run Tuesday night. No water reached the heads because the valve was closed. I have photos, timestamps, and an independent expert opinion. Then last night, a sprinkler line in my backyard was damaged. Rebecca immediately fined me for water waste during the emergency repair. The pattern is clear. This is selective enforcement and retaliation. Rebecca stands abruptly. This is absurd. I have no access to his irrigation system. I do not even know where his valve box is located. Marcus speaks up from his seat. You carry a valve key on your keychain. Every homeowner here can see it. She glances down at the key, then back up. That is for HOA common area irrigation. It is part of my duties as architectural review chair. Sandra flips through the packet. This contractor report is dated Tuesday. It explicitly states the valve was manually closed and shows no mechanical failure. Rebecca, did you or anyone under your direction access this homeowner's valve box? Rebecca's face hardens. I do not have to answer that. It is an outrageous accusation. Tom raises a hand. Rebecca, we need transparency here. If there is any possibility of improper access, we have to address it. Angela, the secretary, speaks for the first time. I have been reviewing our violation log. Rebecca has issued 42 landscape violations this year. 38 of them were to homeowners who previously filed complaints against the HOA or requested rule variances. Mike, the vice president, leans forward. That is a hell of a coincidence. Rebecca slams her hand on the table. I enforce the rules equally. If people do not like it, they should comply. Sandra looks at me. Do you have any other evidence? I pull out my phone. I have one more thing. I play it on speaker. It is a voicemail Dale, the irrigation tech, left me yesterday. I forgot to mention in my report the valve handle had fresh scratches consistent with a key tool, not a manual quarter turn. Most homeowners do not use valve keys. That is usually a contractor or maintenance thing. The room goes silent. Tom stands. Rebecca, I am going to ask you directly. Did you close this homeowner's irrigation valve? She does not answer immediately. Her mouth opens, closes. Finally, she says, I was conducting a routine inspection of common area irrigation. His valve box is near the street. I may have checked it to ensure it was not leaking into the HOA main line. I did not intentionally sabotage anything. Sandra shakes her head. So you did access his valve. Rebecca's voice rises. It is not personal. It is policy. We have a duty to protect community resources. If his system was drawing excess pressure, it affects everyone. I step forward. My system has no leaks. Dale confirmed that. You closed my valve and then fined me when my lawn died. Then you damaged my sprinkler line to create another violation. Rebecca points at me. I did not touch your sprinkler line. You have no proof. Marcus holds up his phone. I have doorbell footage from my house across the street. Tuesday night, 11:47 p.m., someone in a mustard yellow jacket walked down the side of his house toward the backyard. Want me to play it? Rebecca sits down hard. Tom looks at the other board members. I think we have enough to suspend the fines and open a formal investigation. Angela nods. Motion to rescind all fines against this homeowner and to place Rebecca on administrative leave pending review. Sandra seconds. All in favor? 4 hands go up. Rebecca does not vote. Tom looks at her. Rebecca, you are on leave effective immediately. Please surrender your HOA access credentials and any keys. She stands, grabs her purse, and walks out without another word. The valve key stays on the table. Tom picks it up, turns it over in his hand. We will have the locks changed on all common area irrigation boxes. I am sorry this happened. You should not have had to go through this. I nod, too exhausted to feel anything close to victory yet. Sandra walks over. We will send you a formal letter rescinding the fines within 48 hours. If you incurred any costs due to this situation, submit invoices and we will review reimbursement. I thank her. Marcus and I walk out into the parking lot. He claps me on the shoulder. You did it. I shake my head. I just wanted to water my lawn. The formal letter arrives Friday by email. All fines rescinded. Investigation opened. Rebecca removed from the architectural review chair position. The board apologizes for the inconvenience and offers to reimburse my contractor costs. I submit the invoices. $85 for Dale's report, $240 for the sprinkler repair. They cut me a check within a week. My lawn recovers fully by the end of the month. The front is green again, thick and healthy. I get my watering schedule dialed in and I check the valve box every few days, just to be sure. Marcus installs a motion-activated camera aimed at my valve box. Just in case, he says. The HOA changes the locks on every common area irrigation point and issues new keys only to the contracted landscape company. Rebecca does not show up to the next board meeting. Rumor is she threatened to sue for defamation, but the board's attorney shut that down fast. Angela takes over as interim architectural review chair and immediately revises the enforcement guidelines. No more subjective fines without photographic evidence and a warning period. No more selective targeting of homeowners who filed complaints. Mike pushes through a policy requiring any HOA representative to log access to private property utilities. It is a small change, but it matters. Sandra tells me privately that 3 other homeowners came forward after my hearing with similar stories. Rebecca had been closing valves, reporting violations, and escalating fines for at least 2 years. One guy paid over $1,000 in fines before he gave up and hired a landscaping service to maintain his yard weekly. The HOA Facebook group explodes. Someone posts a thread with photos of brown lawns and a timeline matching Rebecca's tenure. The thread gets 200 comments in 3 days. People share screenshots of violation notices, fine letters, and email exchanges where Rebecca used the exact same language. It is not personal. It is policy. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to worry about. The phrases become memes. Someone makes a graphic with her face and the catchphrase in bold letters. The moderators eventually take it down, but the damage is done. Rebecca deletes her social media accounts. Her house goes up for sale in late spring. A for sale sign appears on her lawn, and within 2 weeks it has a pending marker. Tom calls me in June to give me an update. The investigation concluded. Rebecca admitted to accessing homeowner irrigation valves without permission on multiple occasions. She claimed she was trying to enforce drought restrictions, but the board found no basis for her actions in the CCRs or local ordinance. She resigned from the board entirely and agreed not to seek any HOA position in the future. The board voted to ban her from holding office. They also voted to refund fines to the 3 other homeowners who came forward. Total reimbursement was close to $4,000. I asked if she faced any legal consequences. Tom says the board considered it but decided the reputational damage and removal from office was sufficient. No one wanted to drag it into court. I run into Rebecca once more before she moves. It is a Saturday morning at the grocery store. She is in the checkout line ahead of me. I almost turn around and leave, but she sees me. We make eye contact. She does not say anything. She finishes paying and walks past me without a word. No apology, no acknowledgement, just a blank stare, and then she is gone. Marcus laughs when I tell him, "What did you expect?" She still thinks she was right. I shrug. Maybe. Or maybe she knows exactly what she did, and she does not care. Either way, she is someone else's problem now. The new architectural review chair is a retired teacher named Paula who actually reads the CCRs before issuing violations. She sends out a community survey asking what rules people think are outdated or too strict. The response is overwhelming. People want reasonable standards, not nitpicking. Paula drafts a proposal to relax the grass height rule and allow native drought-tolerant landscaping. It passes at the annual meeting in August with 72% approval. My lawn stays green through the summer. I keep the irrigation app logs and the contractor report in a folder, just in case. Marcus keeps his camera aimed at my valve box. We check in every couple of weeks. No problems. No surprise violations. No middle-of-the-night valve closures. Fall arrives and the neighborhood feels different. People talk at the mailbox again. Someone organizes a block party. The HOA meeting attendance doubles because folks actually trust the board now. Paula sends monthly newsletters with clear explanations of rule changes and upcoming projects. No more vague threats. No more surprise fines. Angela, the secretary, starts a community garden on HOA common land and invites everyone to plant vegetables. It is a small thing, but it shows the shift. The HOA is supposed to maintain property values and community standards, not wage war on the people who live here. Rebecca forgot that, or maybe she never understood it in the first place. If you are dealing with an HOA nightmare, document everything, and do not be afraid to push back when the rules are applied unfairly. Like and subscribe for more real HOA stories. I still see the mustard yellow blazer in my mind sometimes when I check the mail. That valve key on the table. The way she said, "It is not personal. It is policy," like it was some kind of shield. But policies are written by people, and people can be wrong. The contractor report cost me $85, but it saved me thousands in fines and endless frustration. Dale told me later he had seen similar situations in 3 other neighborhoods. HOA board members with keys and too much time, shutting off water to create violations. It is more common than anyone wants to admit. He said the best defense is documentation and witnesses. I got lucky. Marcus had the camera. Dale had the expertise. Sandra had the integrity to push for a real investigation. By October, Rebecca's house sells and new owners move in. They are a young couple with a toddler. They introduce themselves at the mailbox and ask about the neighborhood. I tell them it is a good place, but keep your irrigation app logs and take photos if anything looks off. They laugh, thinking I am joking. I am not. Marcus backs me up. Seriously, document everything. The husband raises an eyebrow. That bad? I shake my head. It was. It is better now. But the rules are only as fair as the people enforcing them. He nods slowly, and I can see him filing that away. His wife asks about the HOA board. I tell her Paula is reasonable, Sandra is fair, And if she ever has an issue, bring evidence and witnesses. She thanks me, and they head inside. Winter comes and my lawn goes dormant. No violations. No surprise inspections. No emails with ominous subject lines. I focus on work, on my projects, on my life. The mortgage gets paid. The bills get handled. My job schedule is still strict, but at least I am not burning PTO to fight the HOA. Marcus and I grab beers one Friday night, and he tells me he is thinking about running for the board next election. You would be good at it, I say. He shrugs. Someone has to keep them honest. I raise my glass. To documentation. He clinks his bottle against mine. And to valve keys that stay where they belong. Spring returns and my lawn greens up on schedule. I run the system twice a week, check the valve box every Sunday, and keep the app log saved in the cloud. The new couple across the street waves when I am outside. The block party happens again in May, bigger this time. Paula brings cookies and hands out printed copies of the new landscaping guidelines. People actually read them. Someone asks about xeriscaping, and Paula says it is allowed as long as you submit a plan. No hassle. No fines. Just a simple form and a 2-week review. That is what it should have been all along. I think about Rebecca sometimes, wherever she ended up. I hope she learned something. But I doubt it. People like that do not change. They just find new places to enforce their version of order. I am sitting on my porch one evening in June when Sandra walks by with her dog. She stops and asks how everything is going. Good, I say. No complaints. She smiles. That is what we like to hear. She hesitates, then adds, you know, what you did at that meeting, it changed things. A lot of people were afraid to speak up. You gave them permission. I shrug. I just wanted my lawn to stop dying. She laughs. Well, mission accomplished. She continues her walk and I sit there watching the sprinklers cycle through the zones. The sun is setting, the grass is green, and my water bill is normal. It is a small victory, but it is mine. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.